Alrighty, welcome back to Off-Road Stuff. Well, if you guys are watching this, unfortunately, we did not make it to the arm drop sand drags today. I was really hoping to. We pushed and pushed every day after work, and I came home on, let's see, so some of the catch up I did, the drive lines, obviously I had to change the yokes for the drive lines. I did brake lines. I did the disconnect sway bar in the front. So it's pretty much like ready, and decided I'd come home Friday, and which was last night, excuse me, and I was gonna just take it for a hot lap, just to make sure everything was good, because I haven't drove it since I put the long arm kit on, and had a couple of issues, worked through them. Had to do with the clocking of the steering wheel. Apparently there's some sensors in there that tells you that your steering wheel is not straight in conjunction with your tires. Had no clue. So got that figured out, got the lights to go off, drove it, everything seemed to be fine. But one thing that did happen was we had a big storm that night, and with a little bit of flooding, and there was a pothole in a puddle that I didn't realize was there, and I hit it at about 40-ish, and it put a pretty good little death wobble on her, and so I immediately slowed down, got it stopped, and then continued driving. Everything seemed to be fine, and had no more issues as far as any type of traction control or ABS or any other lights like that. No drivability issues. So now fast forwarding into last night, because I think that was Thursday night. So Friday night, when I came home, I went to go take it on another test drive, because the day before I'd only got it up to about 40, 45. And like I said, it was raining and whatnot, so I didn't want to push it in the dark. So my plan was to come home and in the daylight take it out and get it up a little bit higher road speeds, just make sure it was freeway speed worthy before we headed down, because this is about an hour down there. And at any rate, I came in and I noticed there was a few drips on the ground. So I crawled under and looked, and the rear pinion seal looked like it was leaking a little bit, and the rear output seal on the transfer case was leaking a little bit. And then I also noticed that the transmission pan was leaking, which I thought was really odd because it's never really leaked. So I crawled in there and looked, and apparently during this whole death wobble episode, it shook violently enough that the drive shaft swung over and hit the side of the transmission. Luckily, I think it just hit the pan, and I'm thinking it just hit it enough to kind of like break the seal. So it started leaking right there on that side. So, and then I also noticed that the rear pinion angle wasn't right, because I have the new drive line with the double cardan joints in it. So I had to change that this morning because I was getting a little bit of a vibration. But then I came out this morning and looked at it, and I didn't really have any leaks. So I don't know if it was some kind of residual from pulling the yokes in and out. Regardless, I got a couple seals. I'm just going to keep an eye on those, but I'm going to go ahead and crawl into here and pull the transmission pan. I went ahead and just got a gasket and filter, because I haven't serviced this transmission since I had it built a couple years ago. And I know that sounds bad, but I really haven't put a whole lot of miles on it since. So at any rate, that's pretty much what I'm going to do today. I'll go ahead and excuse me. We'll get down there, and I'll show you where the drive line swung over and hit the transmission. So you could already see there's one little drop, and that was just from turning it around. I had it backed in here. I turned the Jeep around, and you can see, it's kind of hard. I didn't bring my light, but it's kind of wet right there. And you can see, where is it? Right here, those two little marks right there. And then you could also see on the drive shaft. So the front end, you guys are, oh, wrong way. Ah, there we go. So the drive shaft, because the front end swung so far over that way that it actually contacted. So at any rate, I'm going to pull this off and see if I can get that sealed up. But I think I'm going to have to pull the exhaust because there's a couple bolts back here that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get between here and there to get those bolts loose. Oh yeah, and you can see right there where it looked like this came over and, well, this probably moved over and hit that because these things get pretty violent under death wobble. Okay, so I think we got lucky. I didn't have to take the exhaust all the way out. I just loosened it, and I can get my quarter drive ratchet with the wobble up there. I think I can get to all of them. And so I pulled the inner fender out, or yeah, and then I just loosened them. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I didn't undo it all the way, so there's just enough to let it kind of see, it kind of moves a little bit. I did pull the rest of the exhaust out or off because I gotta fix it. The little turn down over there, I need to weld that on, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and weld it right there and get rid of that clamp. I don't need the hanger right there, so I'm gonna get rid of that. All right. Well, we got the panel back on there and tightened up. Got 4 quarts of transmission fluid in there. So now I'm just kind of letting it sit for a sec. Gonna check, make sure there's no leaks. Remember, this is the area right there. See them marks? That's kind of where that leak was before. So I'm gonna just kind of keep an eye on it for a minute before I put the exhaust back up, before I put this back up, because there's 3 bolts right there that you can't get to when this is up. So I just want to check in case I need to go back around and snug it up one more time. So we'll give her a, I don't know, a good maybe 30 minutes or so. We'll take us a little break and come back and check on this thing. All right, so it's been about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, and looks pretty good. Oh, I got a supervisor over here. What do you think? Let's look up on the back side. Can you guys see up in there? Yeah, looks pretty dry still. All right, well, I think, all right, well, I think that's good. So I think now I'm gonna go and get the exhaust snug back up. And then I welded part of the muffler where one of the clamps was, because I knew that was the right positioning for it and everything. But there's the little down pipe, whatever you want to call it, tip that I put on there. I need to set it back in place so I can check the clocking on it, and then I'm gonna get that welded and I'll put it back in, and hopefully that's good. I don't know if I'm gonna take it for a drive. I might just let her sit overnight. So keep your ears open, and I'll keep you guys posted.